Hey guys, Lane the project guy here. Got a little project I'm working on. It's my Earthshaker pinball machine. I bought this about 2 weeks ago. It had been a route machine and it had a problem. They put it in storage, and along with a couple of dozen other machines, it sat in a warehouse for 20 years. And then the owner died, and now the estate is selling off that collection of broken pinball machines. And I hate to see a pinball machine go to the dumpster, so I bought one of them, and I've really been going through it. It had a lot of problems, but that's just a challenge to be overcome. One of the restoration projects is replacing the plastics on the playfield. They get really dingy looking. You can see this one, uh, it's yellowed, it's got stains all over it, they're cracked. This is common, very common for pinball machines. These particular plastics have some things riveted to them. This little sign here has a bracket and it's riveted to the plastic. And the rivet uses a rollover technique in the back, which I had never done in my aircraft maintenance career. Always bucked rivets with an air gun, a rivet gun. So I was interested in learning how to do this, and I learned that they're called semi-tubular rivets, and about 25% of the shaft is hollow, and that gives you a soft outer shell that you can roll over with a special mandrel. You can buy some mandrels that clamp in the vise, and you can buy some that have a squeeze handle on them. But I just bought the little simple mandrel that you use with a hammer, and it's going great. So I wanted to take a minute to show you this technique so that you'd know in the future how to use it with your projects. So let's go over to the workbench and let me show you how I'm riveting these. All right, let's show you what we're going to do here. I've got a part of the playfield, and it's got these two signs on there, and we're going to replace them with some new plastics that have the signage and make it look a lot better. The tools that we're going to use are the semi-tubular rivets, and shout out to Hanson Rivet. I called out there to place an order, and I had some questions, and Mr. Hanson actually got on the phone with me, and he's a pinball fan, so we talked pinball tables, and he talked me through what I needed to do this project. And what he suggested is that I just spend a fraction of what I could spend and buy a hand mandrel. So this mandrel has a little rolled edge with a dimple, and that's going to be struck with the hammer, and it's going to cause our rivet to roll over and create like a mushroom shape underneath. And the way that happens is about 25% of the shank is hollow, and that provides a soft outer shell of metal which easily rolls over. And one of the beauties of this is you can control the tension on the rivet. So if you want your part to pivot, you could just brad it partially, and if you want it to be firmly held in place, you can brad it completely. And it's really versatile. So let me set up and get back with you, and we'll do one or two. All right, these are my new signs that are going to replace the old ones. You can see they're a lot nicer looking. They've got a protective coating on them. I need to pull that off. Get that off of them. And the rivets come in different lengths. So you'll need to have an idea of what length rivet you need, or just order several different lengths like I did, and then you'll be prepared for different projects that may come up, and you don't have to be quite as careful with your order. These aren't too expensive, but what you want to do is you want the hollow part of the rivet to protrude out the back of your piece so that it rolls properly. And you'll need both of your pieces put together to get a true length. Sometimes there's a little washer on the back of this rivet, and that's just to take up extra length. And that's shouldn't have to be used, but Let's drill these rivets out. I've got an 1/8 inch bit in my drill. That's the size rivets I'm using. You can kind of wiggle your drill a little bit and it'll work the perimeter of that rivet. The object is to get the rivet drilled out of there without enlarging the hole in your actual piece that goes back on the play field. It's the same no matter what type of riveting you're doing. When you remove rivets, you try to not make your hole in your workpiece any larger than it is meant to be. And there's several ways of accomplishing that, but we're not working on airplanes here, we're working on pinball machines. So I just did the easy way. Now we gotta get those rivets out of there. Let's see, it's going to be a little aggravating. There they go. All right, I've got my piece off. See the underlying metal. All right, I'm going to take a minute and polish my metal a little bit before I rivet my new piece on. All right, let's get going here. So I've got a C18 ST steel rivet with a nickel finish. So it's a 1/8 diameter and it's 8 in length, and I think that's measured in 16ths. Or 32nds rather. So that's like 1/4 of an inch in length. So let's look and see if that's going to work. I put it through both pieces and look at it, and it looks like one size too long to me. So let's see if we got a 7. And you'll just have to kind of play with this. Now these are zinc finish. Hansen was out of nickel finish in this length. I'd rather use a nickel. They look a lot better. Let's just see what this length looks like. That may be. I think we could. Let me see if I've got a 6. I think we could go one size smaller and get back to the nickel. 8. Here's 6 over here. These are nickel plated, which is what I really want to use. Okay, I like that. I don't know if you can see that, but it's sticking through maybe a 32nds of an inch. All right, and I've learned that the easiest way to hold these rivets in there, this is typical of all riveting, put your piece of tape on the head, just like that, and that'll hold that rivet in there, because what you want to do is put both of these rivets in before you rivet, and that way you know your holes are lined up with each other. So I'll stick that one in also. Put a piece of tape over that head. All right, so I got both my rivets in there. My sign is oriented correctly. So now we've got to go and brad these over, roll them. Let me show you how to do that. So I've placed some tape here on my vise to protect the head of the rivet. You just push that down. We'll use this mandrel. Place it right there. And now I've got to tap my head over. You can kind of hear it when it bottoms out. There's a change in the tone of the taps. Okay, that's got them rolled over nicely. And take our tape off. And it looks good. No cracks. They're so soft that you don't have to worry about cracking your plastics. But I like that. So I've got to do one more and then we'll put it back on the table. Hey, thanks for watching us. I hope this is a little trick you can use with your projects. Tune in to Lane the Project Guy and please subscribe.